Trains, they've been the backbone of Britain for nearly 200 years. First Great Western runs the most complex fleet in the UK.
There's the right way, there's the wrong way, and there's the railway.
Operating on an iconic network.
And as I always say, we live the dream every day.
Coping with the crowds.
Just stand back so we can get rid of this train. Thank you.
And keeping the trains on track.
Panic over. Panic over. We're all good to go.
There's an army of drivers, engineers and workers fighting to keep this huge train set on track. Braving the elements.
This is unprecedented, what's happening at the moment.
It's the kind of thing you'd tell the grandkids about.
And battling the backlash.
I wish we could turn the tap off in the sky.
This gets worse and worse and there's no end in sight.
You just want to give them a hug, don't you?
Come hell or high water. Coming up, rowdy rugby fans take over the network.
Keep walking to the very back of the train, please. It's nothing quite like shouting.
It's all kicking off at Reading.
Why say 2 seconds?
If you all talk at once, I can't understand anything any of you are saying.
And the trains hit the road to keep the network moving, but it's slow going.
We're just making 10 mile an hour up this hill. There's plenty more of them to come there.
Rail workers on the Great Western Network are emerging from their biggest crisis of all time. Damage caused by a period of extreme weather is being repaired, and the task forces are getting the network back on track. And they're just in time for the first big event of the season, the Six Nations Rugby Championship. With a train service which spans 2 of the 6 rugby nations, staff are bracing themselves.
These rugby trains, they're always a challenge. I mean, you know, it's not a normal thing for us.
Train manager Jodie is an old hand.
Connery and Biff.
You well? No.
I am, but I don't speak it. What does that mean?
It means Wales forever.
When you're taking the fans to the rugby, everybody's excited, and it's quite fun. How about nofio and a puff?
Nofio and a puff.
There you go. It means swimming in the pool. That's all I remember from school. And you're picking it all up on the way home, it's a different atmosphere, and everyone's drunk, and you don't know whether they've won or lost, or you just pray you're not on that train. Pray it's somebody else dealing with it.
There's few on the network as familiar with rugby fans than the team at Cardiff Station, which is situated next to the 72,000 capacity Millennium Stadium.
Come on, boy!
Today, thousands of supporters are in town to attend the Six Nations clash between Wales and Scotland.
The station is superb because it's right in the heart of the city. It's a bit unique. We are proud of it. It's an amazing stadium as well.
Customer service manager Dave is heading up the Great Western events team.
My job is to make sure we get them home safely and hopefully on time as well.
OK, well, good afternoon, everybody. Obviously, it's a Category A event in the stadium. Full house in there is 74,500.
With the final whistle due shortly, the station team, jointly managed by Matthew from Arriva Train Wales, are preparing for the torrent of returning fans.
A lot of hijinks going on, quite a bit of alcohol being consumed. So, again, a very, very busy day.
Getting crowds home after a big event requires a huge coordinated effort.
Yeah, go ahead.
The entire operation is being conducted from the high-tech control room, where the team monitors every inch of the station.
What was the final number in? Because I think 27,000 was it.
You're touching on almost 40,000.
So I didn't expect that.
By 4:30, the match is over, and Wales have won.
Wales won!
As you can see, quite a few people have come out to the game already. The numbers are higher than we actually anticipated, so it'll be a bit of a challenge to get them back, but we've started.
Yeah, it's just coming in now. It looks like it's going to have to...
It's crucial the control room team coordinate the boarding of each train, as a massive surge on the platforms would spell disaster.
Can we open up London? Figure 600, platform number 1, please.
Down the subway, folks. As you can see, all very jovial.
No tongues.
Wales have won, so...
Keep walking to the very back of the train, please. With all the technology we've got, there's nothing quite like shouting.
Dave and the team get the first few thousand fans dispatched on the afternoon trains without incident.
Since game finish, probably 35 minutes, so 11,000 people have already gone.
But their job's far from over. The vast majority of fans head into town for a post-match drink. And by 7:30, David and the team are facing another barrage of fans.
They've had a fair bit of alcohol by now. It's a good sort of 3 hours in the pub after the game, and that's where the problems arise.
It looks like all the remaining 30,000 fans have returned to the station at once. And tempers are fraying.
Why are we waiting? It's so service, isn't it? People can't get on. And especially on a match day like today, you know. 3 carriages is better. Turkey's overcooked!
Can we get some sword staff over the platform to if we're jumping over the gates?
As tension mounts, the team in control are striving to contain the seemingly endless flow of passengers.
The next one on the load is Lima 92. Figure 600, platform number 1, please.
Can we release the London queue for 600?
Quickly, get on the train. All around the platform, there's another train coming in. That's the last direct London service.
So Newport's closed, yeah? And the Midlands is closed, yeah, good.
The end of that queue, yeah? Right to the end of the platform, all right? Use either end. Quickly, folks.
The team have held their nerve, and the majority of fans can now make their way home. By 9 p.m, the worst is over, and there's some good news from station control.
All queues are now very quiet. Thank you very much to everyone for your assistance this evening. It has been most appreciated.
It's really gone very well. We haven't had no incidents. Our train plan has done an excellent job. More than pleased. So hopefully I'll have a beer by about 11 o'clock. Fingers crossed.
Coming up, rail workers in Cornwall confront the wild weather.
The rain was that intense, it was like needles on my head.
Bit of a nasty old stump.
And could a later train lead to a loss of liberty?
The police kind of come out and arrest them, you know what I mean? No, I can't be doing this.
The Great Western Main Line runs as far west as Penzance in Cornwall. The station here remains closed due to damage caused by violent storms.
I've lived in Cornwall all my life and I've never seen the weather as bad as what it was.
Station maintenance manager Derek caught the full force of the Atlantic gales.
The rain was that intense, it was like needles on my head. Quite frightening, really. The sea was that violent. I mean, there was waves as big as tall as the railings on that signal gantry. They was hitting here and going over the top of that. All the fibre optics have been broken. As you can see, you've got the Network Rail boys here now. They're doing their best to try and sort of get things back together. It's going to be a couple of weeks' process.
Until the signals at Penzance are fixed, services have to start and terminate one stop up the line at St Earth.
Anybody travelling to Penzance? Onward to Penzance. Yes, on the bus, please.
And at St Earth, all the extra traffic is controlled by one of the oldest signal boxes on the network.
You can see exactly where the train is now. He's just a couple of dots. That one's now gone back to danger. That one's come across and he's stood there. And then he's all ready to go back up the country again.
Signalman Jeremy is working harder than ever operating the dozens of mechanical levers, each controlling a separate signal.
We need to pull 2 so it goes from red to green, OK? So I pull that out of the frame and you can actually see it move. The wire has gone out of here to that one, to that pulley, to there, to pull that, to go to green. Who thinks of these things? But it works. And they thought about this 200 years ago.
Not only is he keeping the main line trains on track, but Jeremy also controls the 24 trains a day using the branch line north to St Ives.
So that's the St Ives branch line. Then it goes on to a single bi-directional line that goes from there to St Ives. I'll put that signal back to danger once he's gone past it. You could have a robot here pulling the levers, but he won't know what to do if a different situation arises. You know, we earn our money when things go wrong, so that's the way I look at it anyway.
Driver's different. Oh, well, it struck the train. Is it safe? Line shut.
Has it struck the train?
It struck his train. It's overhanging the line, the cutting at Hawke's Point, and he's worried that it could bring a lot more debris down. So I said, driver, we'll close the line.
As mobile operations manager, it's Craig's job to investigate.
We're heading down to Hawke's Point Crossing, which is a little foot crossing on the St Ives line near Cardiff Bay. A tree is overhanging the cutting there and is striking the train. I'm going to see whether or not we can pass the train safely, even at walking pace or 5 miles an hour. Getting someone to site is vital, so we can assess it and then pass back the information. It may need the guys with chainsaws or even abseilers to get it if it's in a difficult position. Well, I think this is the tree the driver had concerns about, so it's quite a sizable ball that's actually probably striking the train as it goes by.
Signal St Earth.
Jeremy, we're with the tree stump now, which is an old hawthorn which has got a load of ivy attached around it. I'm quite happy to stay on site and open it at walking pace past the site. If the driver could run at, well, we'll say 5 miles an hour from Hawke's Point Crossing around to the high footbridge. He'll see us by the side of the cutting in a place of safety, and we'll assess the damage to the train as it goes by. How are we doing, Dick? All right? That's the tree, buddy, yeah. Well, tell me about it.
If the tree gets any lower, trains won't be able to pass at all. And with the next train due in minutes, Craig calls in the track clearance team to the site.
It's a bit of a nasty old stump, which was growing out almost at right angles to the bank. So Kevin will make a good job of it now, mate, taking the stump out, and we shouldn't get any more problems. Cheers.
Job done. This is one stretch of railway that's safe once again for trains to pass. But further up the main line, the catastrophic track damage at Dawlish has severed the rail link in and out of Devon and Cornwall. Whilst repairs are underway, Lara, one of the main HST depots, is on the wrong side of the breach in Plymouth, which leaves many of the workhorses of the fleet unable to be serviced. But engineering teams have come up with an ingenious solution. In an unprecedented operation costing hundreds of thousands of pounds, trains are now being loaded onto trucks and driven to and from Plymouth by road.
This one's had its maintenance done, so now we can get this one back up to London, get it onto the set, and then that one go back into service.
At Lara, maintenance man Richie and the team are winching a 70-ton power car onto a low loader.
Probably this is going to be happening every day now, because if you imagine we've got 8 coaches in a set, we would normally bring them down in one movement by rail, so we've got to bring those down by road transport. We can only bring one at a time, so this is going to be relentless now. We'll just keep bringing them down by road till it's such time as we get the track open again, and then we can get back to normal. And we get to stop the traffic. How much fun is that? Yeah? This is the main route into Plymouth, so very, very busy. I think once they see the train starting to appear on the road, the traffic stops. Probably find that people see this on a regular basis now, so here's the next arrival, look, coming here for its maintenance, like a well-oiled machine now.
Taking the newly serviced train on its 230-mile journey back to London is driver Tom.
From Lara up to Old Oak Common in London, it takes me, with this sort of weight on, about, you got to give yourself 8 hours, and that's on a good run.
The Old Oak Common depot in London is the only other place on the network with the space to get the train back onto the track.
You can't rush it or anything like that, you got to just go nice and steady. No more than 40 mile an hour, it's far too heavy to be going any more than that. Just making 10 mile an hour up this hill. There's plenty more of them to come though. Now we're going back down the hill the other side. I like the downhills, I don't like the uphills.
Back at Lera, they're taking delivery of another carriage needing specialist repairs.
Well, now it's here, we've got to stop the traffic and get it into the depot, and then it's a slow process of getting it to where we can unload it.
The latest arrival is overseen by maintenance manager Steve.
Now it's started thunder and lightning, just what we need. Brilliant.
Its epic 8-hour journey from London might have come to an end, but getting a 33-ton carriage, measuring over 22 metres, into the depot requires serious expertise.
Where it's quite narrow up here, they've got to use all their skills up there to get it through, I tell you. Without real steering on this lorry, they wouldn't get it in, no chance. Well, the guys take the cab off, put it to the other end of the wagon. They lower the front here. Rails go out to line up with the tracks that are in the concrete. And then they put a winch and a cable onto the back of the vehicle, and the inertia just throws it off the end, and they control it with a winch.
Just getting the carriage off the loader can take up to an hour.
He's off, it's all ours now. Couple it up, take it in the shed. A couple of days, and it'll be ready to go back.
Until the main line is back up and running, there'll be plenty more of these for Steve and the team. Even once the train's back in service, it's not plain sailing. With much of the network still affected by floods, it's a challenge for drivers like John.
Somerset Levels in general is right by the railway line, so you see it. But I've never known, and I don't think anybody in perhaps even living memory has known it flood to the extent that it has between Bridgewater and just short of Taunton. All these lakes are actually fields, but not at the moment. Because of the disruption, which is changing almost daily, you just don't know what you're going to be doing next.
Whilst the railway teams try hard to adapt to the storm disruption, for some staff members the new year is bringing even more challenges. At Reading Station, in the heart of the Thames Valley commuter belt, there's a fresh face on the platform. Duty manager Simon has swapped his job at Paddington to take up a position at Reading, and today is his very first shift.
The main thing coming into Reading from a station like Paddington is just the size of Reading. We've got 15 platforms here now, so people have got to make longer journeys, longer connections.
Reading is the network's largest and the fourth biggest railway intersection in the country, with a footfall of 19 million passengers each year. And with the recent flood damage to signals at Maidenhead disrupting the timetable, it's not long before Simon is called to his first issue.
Railway receiving.
There are a few ladies coming down and complaining about the fact that our timetable is changing.
Oh, right, OK. Where are they at the moment?
Heading to platform 7 office.
OK, we'll see.
I understand you've had to change the times of the trains.
Yes.
But now none of the trains coming in from London allow you to connect to a train to Basingstoke. The trains come out of London, leave at 5. They wait outside Reading just long enough for you to miss the connection. There's 1503, that misses it. 506 misses it.
It keeps missing it. So obviously, you know, we've had to bring in an emergency timetable at the moment because of the work that's going on at Maidenhead. I'll see if there's anything we can do about maybe building a little. If there's any extra time we can put into it, it will get better. I do hope it does. OK, thank you.
The signalling problems mean Simon needs regular updates on any last-minute alterations.
Chris, what's the latest you've been
Well,
hearing?
we've got another one
Nothing's
terminating
leaving.
here.
Yeah.
We've got one Papa 81's going to terminate.
Draw around me and said
Depot.
nothing's leaving here. There's stuff coming the other way.
Anything on the main line's allowed to go through at the moment.
Okay.
But anything sort of stopper-wise is being held here until further notice. As soon as we know, we can get rid of it, but other than that, we haven't been told nothing else. They just want to clear the line at the minute because everything's clogged up.
Okay. Railway 7.
Yeah, could you pop over to platform 15, please? I've got a lot of people waiting for flight from Maidenhead, and at the moment there's nothing going. They're not happy with going to Slough and then coming back.
And it seems that some passengers have been caught up in the disruption.
Is this one of the ones that was originally due to go there and then is now not?
Yeah, there was 2 trains that were meant to go, but they both got cancelled. There's about 15 people that don't seem very happy and want to speak to you.
Okay, I'm just coming down the escalator now. Okay, yes.
We've just been cancelled the train. The train's been cancelled.
Yes.
Straight away for no reason.
We can't. It cannot go down the lines that run through Twyford that way. It is coming the other way. You can go from Slough and you come back on yourself to Twyford and Maidenhead.
No, that train has to go through Twyford.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But the line that is going down you can't stop there.
You can.
Because of the flooded signals, only 20% of normal services are stopping at Twyford.
You need to go to Slough and you need to come back to Twyford and Maidenhead.
Why say 2 seconds? You've got to stop that train.
Okay.
And now you're saying we've got to go to Slough to come back again.
To go to Twyford and Maidenhead. What, they kicked you off? What, a train that was going to Slough?
You said it wasn't going to Twyford and Maidenhead.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, okay. All right. Thanks, sir. Red and Jodie, you want to just start speaking?
And then they're saying we should have stayed on that train to then literally come to go to Slough to come back on ourselves to get to Twyford. But that train's got to go through Twyford and Maidenhead. Why can't it stop? It's ridiculous.
I'm going to early on 10. So if I get on Twyford, I know where to start from. But if they are saying we should go to Slough and come back, then what time I have to supposed to start work?
But there's one customer for whom the late train could cost him more than a ticket.
Well, I'm on curfew, I need to be at home at 9, and now I'm going to be delayed.
And then they're going to get the police going to come out and arrest him, you know what I mean? Because he's not home by 9, and it's not his fault. And that means they're going to put him in the cell till tomorrow morning and ship him off to court. No, I can't be doing this.
There's going to be a service for Twyford and... Yeah, can you let me speak? 2018 service will call at Twyford and Maidenhead. OK, so quarter of an hour on platform 13A.
Quarter of an hour?
Yeah, the next one.
2018.
By the time I order you taxis and put you in taxis, you'll be quicker to take the train.
No, not at all. If I call a taxi service now, a taxi will be outside in 5 minutes.
We don't use your taxi service, we use our own taxi service. It'll be at least 15-20 minutes for a taxi arrives.
Taxi should be on point.
They're not, no, we don't...
Then you haven't got a taxi service then, have you? Really? Because if you've got a taxi service, they should be outside the station waiting for a man.
If you all talk at once, I can't understand anything any of you are saying.
But why did you say in 2 minutes you've got to get off that train, it's not stopping at Twyford and Maidenhead? Then to get us here, we could have stayed on it to go to Slough and come back again.
Did you hear what I just said to the rest of these guys? No. The 2018 service will stop at Twyford and Maidenhead.
21.
No, that's not the one. No. Being frustrated, I think we can understand that can happen. It's making sure that frustration doesn't boil over into something more serious. It doesn't help when people are in groups like that. People tend to egg each other on. Train will be the next one in about 10 minutes' time, so get them all on the way.
With passengers able to catch the very last train out of Reading tonight, Simon's baptism of fire is coming to an end.
Fortunately, I'm going home soon, but I am happy to be at Reading. Got good support from the staff. I'm glad I'm not at Reading tonight, but I am pleased that I'm at Reading in general.
Coming up, there's a pressing problem for engineers at Taunton.
A lot of people need to use the loo first thing in the morning when they get on a train. That's the way it goes.
And at Paddington, rookie Joe is hoping for some divine intervention.
If you've ever prayed for a train to go, this is the one. Heaven forbid that we'd have to cancel it.
Keeping the railway on track in the face of any obstacle has been a driving force of engineers since the network was built. And pioneer Brunel designed his railway to glide through the landscape. In Taunton, Somerset, that meant building the White Ball Tunnel. This iconic structure was the site of the first recorded speed of 100 miles per hour. Nearly 2 centuries on, it's in need of some vital repairs.
The tunnel is a brick arch tunnel and it's been deteriorating because it was put in 1844, and recently, because of all the water in the tunnel, it's led to the brickwork to deteriorate, and there's now a risk that the brickwork could fall onto the track.
Project manager Rosie is overseeing the essential repairs for Network Rail.
Right now we're in the last week of our 23-day blockade to apply concrete to the arch of the tunnel. So we go in and we apply a concrete lining around the ram arch, and then that can remain in place for sort of 120 years. So whilst this 23 days is disruptive to people, it's key to allow us to put in this concrete and safeguard the condition of the tunnel for the future.
Okay, so you're due to hand back at 5 o'clock on Monday morning. So that train will expect green signals at exactly that time, and that's what we've got to aim for.
As the project nears completion, the team come together to make plans to hand back the line.
So in that time we can keep drilling in the tunnel right up until the end. As soon as the testing's completed, we can hand that work site back, and then it's basically one big work site to run the train through.
The tunnel was originally hand-built by 1,000 men over 3 years. But this £15 million restoration project is now using cutting-edge technology to make the repairs.
One of the key bits of kit that we've got to undertake this work is we've got a robotic arm that sprays the concrete on, which is mounted onto a road rail vehicle. It's an innovative way of doing things. We don't have to have people working at height, we don't have to have people physically doing the spraying, having to deal with sort of issues of vibration, of repetitive tasks. That allows us to undertake the works in the tunnel without having to put people at risk.
The team are also undertaking essential work to the banks that have been eroded by rainwater.
You can see we're sort of in a dip where the water sort of comes down the embankment. So the works that we're doing here are to make sure it doesn't flood the tracks, we can keep running the trains. All the trains that take commuters into sort of Bristol, London, Swindon go through Whitewall Tunnel. So this is key to getting people to where they need to be.
With the tunnel closed, trains are unable to reach depots in the southwest for their nightly maintenance checks.
Are you going to seal the deck case? Good man.
Fred Dibner of the Railways.
Fred Dibner.
So engineer Mark and a team of technicians have set up a temporary one at Taunton Station.
We've fitted tanking facilities. We have battery charging facilities now wired in from the main. We're set up a depot almost in the middle of nowhere in engineering terms for us. Out of the ordinary, out of norm, but it's just like having your own train set. It's smashing.
Each night they must clean and service 3 trains in all weathers against the clock.
First arrival at night, as soon as he stopped, we put the not to be moved on. So this train cannot move. It's now ours. We own the train. The clock is ticking because we've got 2 more to come in then. We're filling the toilet header tank to ensure that in the morning the loos work. It's as simple as that. A lot of people need to use the loo first thing in the morning when they get on a train. That's the way it goes. We're done. Righty-ho.
As the train is being cleaned, the technicians must check each onboard system for any faults.
That's for the windscreen wiper. And as you can see, it's just blowing out bubbles. It might be the pressure vessel itself faulty. The problem is, we might not have the part to do it.
It may seem like a small problem, but the consequences for the morning train service could be dramatic.
If they can't watch the screen, the driver doesn't take the train. He doesn't take the train because he can't see where he's going and he can't see the signals. Ian, there's 2 wish-wash controllers in the cupboard in the Viridor room, over. All right, boy.
Not right.
With limited resources, they can only hope they have the right parts to hand.
We're only assuming this is the component. We're not sure yet. It's going to be trial and error, this one.
Believe it or not, windscreens and keeping them clean are pretty damn important to us. Otherwise, they bump into things. Or they commit spads. Signal passed at danger. Drivers get either shot or hanged for doing either of them.
One clean windscreen. Yeah, job done.
Talk about understanding what goes wrong. I tell you, ooh.
All right.
He changed my life, eh?
In spite of everything, the train is now ready for the morning service.
I think for what we're doing, we're fighting above our weight. Difficult job, we've got a fair bit more to do, but that's not bad at all. I think we're doing pretty well. I am a happy man tonight.
Keeping the railway on track is a 24-hour operation, not just for engineers, but for station staff as well. At Paddington Station in London, it's Saturday, and the busiest night shift of the week has begun.
You see all these trains here at Paddington, then all of a sudden I saw my name up there. I thought, actually, wow, I am the duty station manager at Paddington. got the job, now I've got to sort of deliver on that, so yeah.
Rookie Joe is coming to the end of his first week as overnight duty manager.
Okay, I'm sure we'll have our fair share of fun.
Sorry, Jane.
Hello?
West Drayton.
West Drayton, yeah, let's have a look.
The Oxford one or the Greenford one?
It should be the Oxford one. Let me ask my colleague. Bravo 1 to base.
Can you see it? Yeah, West Drayton, not that rat.
You can cancel that order. We've just found it. Sorry, Graham. I should have known that. I let myself down. It's a lot to take in.
But memorising the timetable could be the least of Joe's worries.
Is this the train they're saying they need fitters' attention? This one on 4? Any ideas what it is?
The last direct service from Paddington to Swansea is due to leave in a few minutes.
Evening. How's it going?
We just got a power fault.
Power fault at the moment.
If it doesn't run, passengers could be stranded hundreds of miles from home. So Joe needs to act quickly and calls his colleagues at control.
Heaven forbid that we'd have to cancel it. 1 Bravo 94. Are we still going to run it, do you think, just with one engine? Because with the fitters at the moment, and there seems to be a complete engine failure on this set. Platform 1, yeah, she's still there.
The control team informed Joe about another train that could take his passengers.
Well, if I do that, if I give base a quick call and just let them know.
But before Joe can make a decision, passengers start boarding the faulty train.
Just been on the phone with Swindon. Can we keep a hold of the train currently on platform 1? Because if we can't get rid of this one and if they have to cancel it, then we'll have to turf everyone off onto platform 1, I'm afraid.
Okay, Bravo 11, please.
Get that. Let's
Joe's request has gone out too late.
So our train we wanted to hold, it was all a little bit last minute, that discussion, so the train's gone now on platform 1. But as this is our last Wales train, yeah, this is one we really don't want to fail.
Joe and his team could be faced with having to find hotel rooms for hundreds of people.
If you've ever crossed or prayed for a train to go, this is the one.
All Joe can do is hope the fitters can work their magic.
Chief Station Manager Paddington. Fantastic. That is music to my ears. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Understood.
Brilliant. Cheers. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
see you later. Bye-bye. Panic over. Panic over. We're all good to go. We are all good to go.
With the problem fixed, the Swansea service finally gets away.
Okay.
But Joe gets an update from the station control room.
Well, that's what Swindon said. They said if you can hold that train, hold the train.
That's all we need to.
The train that Joe asked to be held has been emergency stopped outside the station as a contingency for the broken one. But with the Swansea train fixed, it's turned out to be an unnecessary move.
Well, look at it this way. If that was our last train out to Wales, so that's the best case scenario. Would it have to come back? All right. Cheers. Thanks very much. So we've got an unhappy driver and an unhappy signaller now.
Joe heads to the control room to confer with controller Graham.
That was all a bit dramatic, wasn't it?
That was a bit dramatic indeed.
On a scale of 1 to angry, how angry was the signaller?
You know when you're on the phone to someone and you can hear that they're sort of talking away from the phone? It was like that.
As angry as the driver who had to stop at us at Paddington?
No one is as angry as the driver.
No one is angry as that man right now.
Dear, no.
There's so many split-second sort of decision, that's gone on between myself and Graham here, then by the signaller. It does have quite a big fallout, but I think in terms of where fallout sort of is, that was the greater good. Sorry, sir. Sorry, it's gone, I'm afraid. The next train's not until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Where are you trying to get to?
Reading.
Reading. Sorry, that's the last one, I'm afraid.
Is there a bus?
There's no buses, I'm afraid. It's Sunday morning. We survived. We got everyone to their trains, so the more time I spend here, hopefully the slicker and the smoother I perform as Duty Manager here at Paddington. It is a lot to take in, but it's brilliant and I absolutely love it.
Coming up, it's game over for supporters on the Swansea service.
And Wales lost. Not that I'm English or anything.
So proud to be English.
You either drink champagne because you're winning or you drink champagne because you're losing. Either way, it's a good thing to do.
After the huge challenges of the recent freak weather, the first major event of the year offers staff on the railway a chance to show passengers that it's business as usual. And in the Six Nations Rugby Championship, today it's the long-awaited battle between England and Wales. Thousands of fans from across the UK are converging on Reading Station for special connecting services to Twickenham.
Rugby specials are 11:09, 39, 12:09 and 12:39.
And the pressure is on for duty station manager Ziggy.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you doing? It's been sold out since capacity in rugby, I believe, so 63,000. So it's going to be a quite interesting day.
With a sellout match, Ziggy and his team are having to deal with thousands more passengers than on a typical Sunday.
Usually we need 11 dispatchers in one shift. Today I'm 7 short.
As Ziggy's morning progresses, packed trains full of eager fans are speeding towards Reading.
You going to see the game? You are? Yeah. So you know who's going to win, don't you?
Yeah, England.
Yeah.
Morning, seal tiers and passes, please. There's an 11:09 connection for Twickenham. We're running a little bit late at the moment, but I'll keep you informed.
Heading in from Bristol, train manager Chris is eager to get his fans in on time.
We've already got 200 people on board, and it looks like another 100, 120 odd boarding.
But as his train reaches Swindon, Chris gets more than he bargained for.
It looks like we've just had another train arrive on the opposite platform, so we've got a lot more people getting on. It might be quite full, and we're going to be late. But we've only got 7 minutes for the Twickenham connection at Reading, so if we do get delayed here significantly, then it could mean us delaying a lot of passengers on board. Now that's full and standing up there, so we're not going to be able to go through in a minute. Come on, Ed, do you have a ticket available?
Now the train is running so late, Chris needs to take action and calls his colleagues at Reading Control.
Twickenham, and it's looking like they may well be missing their connection for the 11:09. I'm wondering if you can tell me what platform it's going to be leaving from, whether or not it's running on time, and whether or not it could be held, depending. OK, thank you very much.
By midday, Ziggy and his team have a full flow of rugby fans and late connections to deal with.
Platform 4, Twickenham!
Come Wales! Number 4, just round the corner. It's 2 minutes to go.
The last rugby special is about to leave, but with so many fans still in the station, as manager, Ziggy must make a decision.
Gentlemen, quick as you can. Yeah, hold on. 1 more second, mate. 1 more second. I'll take this delay on mine. Have you got some more coming? Oh, that's it.
Yeah, 2 more.
2 more, OK. There we go, young man. Right. That's it now. That's it now. Yeah, that's fine. I thought they were going to... Departed a minute late, but it's about 20 or 30 odd people managed to get on that train. You know, especially little fella at the last minute. So, yeah, a bit of satisfaction as well.
Go on, England!
Getting the fans to the match is one thing.
Go on, England!
But after a dramatic win for England, and with supporters now flocking home in their thousands, Reading Station is about to bear the brunt of the fans once again.
We don't know exactly what type of mood they're in, how much drink they had, and losing a game could upset anybody.
Up the line at Paddington, the 1833 to Swansea is preparing to depart. This train will be scooping up some of the rugby fans at Reading.
This is such a busy train before we get to Reading.
And in charge of the service tonight is train manager Kimberly.
Just like to warn you folks that the rugby's on, I'm sure you know, because it might get a little bit noisy, OK? The Swansea trains are always busy on a Sunday, and we will coincide with the first train loads getting in from Twickenham to Reading. See all tickets now, please. That's all tickets.
going to be very, very busy tonight. And Wales lost. Not that I'm English or anything.
At Reading Station, there's now a relentless scrum of rugby supporters arriving from Twickenham.
Exit to your left, while the platform's to your right.
And Ziggy and his team have their hands full herding them all to the correct platform.
To Newport, South Wales. Platform 12, mate.
Bristol Parkway, Newport in Cardiff Central, number 13 in about 6 minutes.
England, come on, England! Go on!
Good evening, ladies and gents. Anybody for Cardiff?
Go on, Wales, next year in Cardiff, all right? Platforms to your right, exit to your left, please.
Would have been better if Wales had won, but we lost.
Trains are running slightly delayed, guys. Don't run too much.
The next one is 1909, which is due here about 1920-ish.
Running about 10 minutes late now, unfortunately. This is due to us being held outside Reading.
Can I ask you to stand back a bit, please, ladies and gents? Thank you.
Obviously, it's for the sheer volume of passengers being brought down onto each of the platforms.
Kimberley's Swansea train eventually makes it into the station.
Swansea, next one. Yes.
Next one is Manchester.
No, sir, it's going to Swansea, yeah.
As Ziggy hands over to Kimberley, he's come to the end of his 12-hour shift. And with the Swansea train now full of fans...
So proud to be English.
The buffet car opens for business.
If there's anything I can do, you give me a shout. I have tried to move them down so you've got a bit more space, all right?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, I got loads of beer, whether or not they'll be celebrating or commiserating.
I'm drinking champagne because I think life's too short not to drink champagne. So you either drink champagne because you're winning or you drink champagne because you're losing. Either way, it's a good thing to do.
Do you know what? This is the most quietest rugby train I've ever been on. They're no singing. I think they went to sleep. I've never known such a subdued train. Good job you were on to bring some fun.
But there are still some fans determined to fly the flag.
Pins and barriers, land of my fathers, I don't know.
Come on, boys.
Next time on the railway, there's a ruckus at the races.
Gets a bit scary on Friday.
Station supervisor Phil gets a new look.
Find any silly hat anywhere there? Come back.
And train manager Jay has a shocking shift.
The driver has just called me. He's just said that we've had a near miss.
Scotland's hero Sir William Wallace is in the spotlight tonight at 10 to see if the movie really matches up in Braveheart, the true story. Before that, hidden secrets and violent fallouts in new series Britain's Bloodiest Dynasty. Next.